So let's start up that service again. Confirm that it's open. There it goes. Takes a minute to load up. And let's say that I don't want to run it on port 9200. I want to run it on port 1150. So how we do that, we need to edit a configuration file, and the Elasticsearch configuration file has a .yml extension. So I'm going to use find here to look in etc, and the type that we're going to be looking for is a file, and the iname is going to be Elasticsearch asterisk. And here it is right here. So I'm going to sudo nano etc elasticsearch.yml. And in this file, we're not going to go over the file too much, but I'm just going to find the part that configures what port it runs on, which is down near the bottom. There we go. So that's the IP address, and then the port here. There we go. So the default is 9200. I'm going to change it to 1150, and I'm going to save the file and exit. Now if I refresh this, it's still going to work on port 9200. It's not going to work on port 1150. And the reason for this is that it's still using the old configuration file until the service is reloaded or restarted. So rather than typing Elasticsearch stop and then Elasticsearch start, we can use one command, and that is sudo service Elasticsearch reload. Oh, restart, sorry. And it's going to restart the service. So now if we come back here, give it a moment, and then refresh, we're going to see that now we're connected on port 1150. And if we were to go back to port 9200, it would no longer work. And this is because the restart function has updated the configuration file that it's running with. So that's basically how you use a service, and we went through the commands that I learned when I was learning Linux, and we don't use those anymore. So Ubuntu has moved to using upstart and system control. So nowadays how we would do this, let's stop the service, is kind of in the same way. We're going to use a different program though. So I'm going to type sudo systemctl start Elasticsearch. I'm going to change the port here to 1150. So essentially system control does the exact same thing that the service command does. It just does it a bit differently. And that's probably going to become the standard way to do it in the future. So I'd recommend it's similar to stop the service. The only difference between using service and system control is that in system control, the action is before the program or before the service name. In service, you type service, service name, and then action. So that's the only really important difference between the two. I would use system control. Get used to using that because I'm pretty sure that's what's going to become standard. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we're going to be going over scheduled tasks.